Hey guys, thanks so much for taking some time to watch this video. Before you get started though, I just wanted to quickly mention to you that my six-figure Medicare Agent University is still available. The price has gone up to $795. It's worth every penny in my opinion. It's 130 plus videos of unique content, from content creation if you want to be a content creator, to making a YouTube channel, to building a podcast, to running Facebook ads, to dialing leads, to door knocking, to home appointments, to selling over the phone, to carrier information, to whatever it is that you might possibly need as an agent. There's training in it for you. I put everything in there that's kind of helped me build my business over the years, from technology tools to whatever. And we're always adding new content into the equation with the Six-Figure Medicare Agent University. Now, that being said, we will give it away to our agents for free. And the new criteria for that is you either have to have a United Healthcare contract, a Humana contract, or a Cigna Medicare Advantage contract through our organization. You have to be appointed, you have to be certified, and we'll give you free access to it. Send me a personal message on Facebook or post it in the Facebook group if you'd like to talk about it, and you can get free lifetime access to the university. Thanks so much for watching. What's up, guys? Thanks for being here with me today. It's been a little while, and today we're bringing you back with another Medicare lead review video from another Medicare lead vendor. We've had a lot of requests to do NextGen leads, and we did that in this video. Now, I did not do my typical, where I order a whole bunch of leads. I did put up some money and I did order a little bit of a batch, but I just had such a hard time finding the time to work all these leads with all of our regular marketing, with all of our regular leads that we're doing. So I did not do a tremendous amount in terms of ordering my own batch and working them like I normally do. That being said, I've ordered leads from NextGen Leads several times, probably since 2016 or 17. So I'm very, very familiar with what they bring to the table. And we did order a little bit of a batch. So I'll just kind of go over exactly how they work, and I'll give you my scores based on my experience with this lead company. Thanks for watching. Watch all the way to the end, because I think you're going to enjoy this video. Alrighty, guys, NextGen Leads. Let's get right into how they work. So NextGen Leads is a typical internet lead vendor. Okay, so they have various different websites, landing pages, and basically that they will, funnel traffic into them, and they'll try to get people to fill out a form of sorts, and then basically they'll send it to you supposedly in real time. Now, they offer a lot of different types of leads. They offer shared leads, they offer exclusive leads, they offer direct transfer leads. So they have a lot of different kinds of leads. And the price is going to vary depending on, number one, the market, number two, kind of what promotion they're running at the time, and number three, it's going to vary based on the type of lead you're actually getting. Obviously, direct transfer lead is going to cost a significant amount more than a shared lead would. So let's just jump right into it. They give you a portal, they give you an account. Now this one's mine. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I've done a lot of leads through them over the years. One thing that I do like about them particularly is you can always chat with them down here if you ever have a question. You can basically just put in your information, and you can typically, most times, chat with somebody. I found that pretty helpful in the past. Now, they're not always friendly and happy to talk to you when you call. One thing that I can say from experience with these guys is they're very, very focused on the very large companies that do business with them, like the call centers and things like that. So sometimes the little independent agent, the little independent guy might fall through the cracks, and they just don't really care that much about that person's business as much. So that's something that's important to keep in mind with a NextGen Leads vendor of this size and this magnitude. They're a very, very large vendor, but basically they're pretty self-sufficient. I mean, what I mean by that is you can pretty much do everything on your own. You don't really need them as much. I like that you can turn your campaigns on and off as you choose. So like here's a direct live transfer lead. So let's say I just wanted to flip that on. It's on. Say I wanted to flip it off. It's off. That's real convenient, and I've always liked that about these guys. Now they work in a bidding system. So basically the bidding system is going to be something along the lines of you're basically, you're putting in a max bid, if you will. So my bid is anywhere between $16 to $19.50 for this particular campaign right here. And so basically, I'm going to bid against somebody else for that. And so sometimes I'll usually put a higher max than I normally would because I want to outbid other people and kind of get the volume I'm expecting. That's kind of the only way to get any significant or decent volume with a carrier like this, because basically what you're looking at is, anybody in your area could outbid you. And so it's kind of just dependent on what other people are bidding for. It's kind of really hard to kind of put a price amount on it, and it also depends on the exact area. But if let's say you have a high bid and you were able to win a lead for $15, you're only going to pay $15 to kind of give you an example. So that's kind of how that works. Now, in terms of adding funds, you can add funds right here. You can just do it right from here. You don't need to call anybody. I could say, let's say I want to add $100 into my account. Let's say I wanted to, use a card I have on file or something like that. It just makes it very easy for me. Has all my information up here. There is a place over here where you can basically track your leads, your history of leads. And you can also return the leads, which is kind of nice. You can do auto funding. So there's a lot of things to like about them, in my opinion, opposed to a lot of internet lead vendors. There's some things I like. There's some things I don't like. This kind of gives you a little bit of an overview. And let's just get right into my typical scores. So this is the criteria on which we're going to be judging these lead companies on. 1 being the quality of leads, 2 being the customer service that's provided by the lead company, number 3, the convenience to the agent, how easy is it for the agent overall, and number 4, how fair is the price. Now, I'm not going to be taking into consideration comparing it to the price of generating your own leads through your own marketing or own Facebook advertising or any type of social media advertising. This is just strictly in comparison to other lead companies and kind of how it matches up kind of in general. Each category will be rated between 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, and then they'll be averaged together to give the lead company a score of 1 to 10. Each category will make up 25% of the overall score.
Let's talk about quality of lead, everybody. Okay, so quality of lead in terms of NextGen leads, I think it really just kind of depends on the type of lead you're getting. Obviously, if you get a shared lead, it's going to be a much lower quality than it would be an exclusive lead. And then I think a live transfer lead is going to be the top quality that they offer. And I think those are incredibly good. The problem with the live transfer leads is the volume is just almost non-existent. And the bid for it is so high. I mean, you probably saw my campaign back there. When I was trying them out, my bid was at $80 a lead, and I still couldn't get any volume for the live transfers. So live transfers just have no volume. So I'm really going to just mainly be talking about their exclusive lead. They have a couple different avenues and a couple different types of leads that they provide in terms of avenues. So they have their NextGen lead, and they have another type of lead, and they kind of vary depending on exactly how they're capturing the lead with NextGen leads. To be honest with them, I mean, they've been very, very up and down for me. That's why I don't use them anymore. It's just because I never know what I'm going to get. I would be lying to you if I said I haven't written a lot of business with them over the years, because I have. So I don't think that the quality of lead is necessarily bad, but there's plenty of times where the leads I think can be kind of duds, or maybe, they're not expecting your call, that kind of thing, So, I would probably be willing to give them a 7 out of 10 in terms of quality lead. I don't think it's the best lead around. And I'm somebody that can, I feel, get business out of pretty much any lead. I think you give me really almost any types of leads, I'm going to be able to do something with that lead. So I've been able to get business from them, but I could very much see a new agent having trouble getting business from NextGen leads just because the quality is not always there. Sometimes they're really, really good. Sometimes they're just really, really bad. So they're kind of in the middle. You never really know what you're going to get. And I don't really feel like they do the best job in terms of, being very forthright with the client and customer about what they're actually hitting submit for. So the intent is not always going to be that high. So because of that, got to give them 7 out of 10. What can I say particularly about customer service when it comes to NextGen leads. Kind of talked about it a little bit in the opening video there, but I mean, I think they do some things well. I didn't think they do some things not well. I like that they have that online live transfer, not live transfer, the online chat thing feature. You can chat with somebody. I think that's helpful to where you don't necessarily have to pick up the phone and call them. But that being said, that you can't get every single question answered from that online chat. And so because of that, I do believe that, you know, if you do need to pick them up the phone and call them, every time I remember picking up the phone and calling them, they've been pissy. Just pissy, rude, you know, kind of rolling their eyes. They have the basically culture built out to where they want you to basically self-serve and do it all. You know, they're not believers of necessarily having cashiers. They want to have self-checkout lanes, right? And that's kind of their business model. So when you do pick up the phone and call them, they're annoyed by it. And because of that, I'm going to give them 6 out of 10 in customer service. I mean, I'd give them a 0 based on calling them, but I'm giving them a higher score, obviously, because their online chat feature, I think, is very, very good. But just calling them is not good. They're not very helpful. You know, if you have any particular questions about the particular leads or markets, be like, what kind of volume can I get here? You're not going to get a lot of help by calling them on that, so 6 out of 10 on customer service. Convenience to the agent. So how am I going to score them on this one? Well, there's a reason why we've ordered a lot of leads from them over the years. I mean, we typically don't anymore. I think I have kind of outgrown them a little bit in terms of my business. And they're a typical internet lead vendor, right? I mean, the quality of lead's not always going to be all that hot. And I kind of have talked about that a little bit throughout the course of this video. But as far as convenience goes, I think they're incredibly convenient. I think they're probably just as much, if not more convenient than most other internet lead vendors you have out there, because you can basically open up an account, fund the account right then and there, create your campaign. You can custom make it. There's a lot of convenience there. You can, you know, set your bids. You can, you know, kind of determine exactly what it is you're looking for. It's very customizable and you have a lot of control. I love, like I mentioned earlier, the ability to turn the leads on and off at my discretion. I've docked lead companies in the past for not allowing me the option to do that. And so because of that, you know, that convenience factor. And the other thing too is, you know, they do return leads. You know, they allow you to just basically go in and return a lead if it's a disconnected phone number or something like that. Now, they have a limit to it like all lead vendors do. They're not going to let you just return every single lead, but they let you return quite a few, I've found over the years. And so because of that factor alone, I'm going to give them probably, let's see, I'm going to give them a 10 out of 10 in terms of convenience. I think they do a really good job on convenience. All right, how fair is NextGen leads priced? In my personal opinion, from my experience with them, I do think they are fairly well priced. I think they are pretty competitive with a lot of other lead vendors out there. You know, if you can get an exclusive lead for anywhere between $15 to $20 typically, and get somewhat decent volume, that's not too bad for an internet lead vendor. A lot of times their internet lead vendors will want you to pay $25 a lead, $30 a lead, something like that. Of course, you know, there's going to be people that come in and be like, well, I can generate my own leads on Facebook for $10 a lead or something like that. We're comparing it vendor to vendor, right? I mean, one internet lead vendor to another or other different types of leads. So we're comparing vendor to vendor. We're not talking about generating your own leads. Of course, it's going to be cheaper for you to generate your own leads, obviously, if you know what you're doing. In terms of, though, from other vendors, though, I think they are very well priced. Now, as I showed you, I think that their live transfer leads are very expensive, but they are very high quality at that. So I'm going to give them a pretty good score in terms of how fairly they're priced, because I do think they do a pretty good job. Due to that alone, I think I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10 in terms of price. My final thoughts about NextGen leads are this. I think that they are a typical internet lead vendor.
You don't always know what you're going to get sometimes. The quality is going to be kind of wishy-washy, and they're mainly built for the large call center, gigantic organizations, and that's kind of who they're focused on, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Now, that being said, they're probably one of the better internet lead vendors, in my personal opinion, that I have come across. I think that they do a pretty good job in a lot of ways, but they're not going to be much more than just a typical internet lead vendor. Now, you can get some what I like about them is you can basically deposit money, set up your campaign, and switch it on, and you can get leads the same day. I like that about them. They have CRM integration. There's a lot of things that I really do like about them. But the quality of leads isn't always going to be great. The customer service isn't always going to be great. And we kind of documented it over the course of this video, but they are what they are. They're okay, but they're not going to be great, just like any internet lead vendor. Now, for those of you that might have been curious about the particular leads that I ordered on this particular video, I put a handful of money in there in my account for this video. As you saw in the video, I did not use all of it by even a long shot, but I did get about 4 leads out of it that I did have time to work. Out of those 4 leads, 2 of them were disconnected phone numbers. One of the person was completely closed off, and I was able to make 1 sale, 1 Medicare Advantage plan with a cancer plan and a dental plan. So that was my results from it. But normally I like to order, 15 to 20 leads and then really go hard at them. It's just I've been so busy with every single thing that we're doing, from the podcast to, we run 2 YouTube channels, to the Facebook group, to the course, to working with new agents. We've been taking on more agents than we ever have before. And also, we're an insurance agency that's growing our own book of business and our own clientele. So I'm sorry that it wasn't our typical video in terms of me having a huge sample size of leads that I worked, but I figured that it'd be okay to just kind of go without that part of it and just get the video out to you guys. I didn't want you to make you to wait any longer. These kind of videos take a ton of time to make. And it's not just about filming the videos or anything like that. It's the time that it takes to actually work the leads and give them a good effort. I like to try to call them 3, 4, 5 times, give it a really good effort so that way I can kind of give you an honest review. But I've had a lot of experience with this vendor over the years, so I felt comfortable just kind of throwing the video up there. That way we could get a lead review video out for you guys. As always, thanks so much for taking some time. Thanks for watching. If you have a lead vendor in mind that you would like to see me review and use my own money to purchase leads on and work them and be able to bring a review video on for you and kind of give you my unbiased perspective, be sure to leave the name of that vendor down in the comment section. Make sure to like this video if you appreciated the time that went into it. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.